Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're going to be talking about altcoins and your favorite cryptocurrencies. We could always talk about Bitcoin, but I wanted to get this live stream started to help out you guys with the altcoins. And we're going to start by looking at Ethereum first. We'll eventually look at Bitcoin. We all know Bitcoin's doing its thing, but let's try to focus on these altcoins and see what the opportunities might be in the market here. Right now we're looking at Ethereum, okay, currently trading at $2,612, up slightly today, only up about $3. Looks like it had a better day. Actually, we just had a brand new day. Never mind. I normally don't stream around this time. We're 9 minutes into the new day here. The last daily candle just closed for Ethereum, so that's the reason why we're only up $3 in the last 9 minutes. Yeah, so for Monday here, we saw Ethereum go up 2.7%. Started the day off at 25.40, came as low as 24.76. Gave people a good scare earlier this morning, and then we just kept on climbing up. We got as high as 26.16 for the day. And we closed out at 26.09, but here we are, we're still climbing up to higher prices here. So kudos to the Ethereum investors for staying strong. And the reason why they've been staying strong is because we haven't really come down to this 0.618 retracement. I've been eyeballing this 0.618 retracement at 24.21. I actually shorted Ethereum this weekend, and to no avail. The short sellers were not able, the bears weren't able to push the price of Ethereum down to $2,400. They got as low as $2,470, so in that area, but I was eyeballing the 24.21 level, and also this 100-day moving average sitting at about $2,400, okay? And we weren't able to push it down that far. So I flipped from being an Ethereum bear to being an Ethereum bull. Last night I did that, so I was able to get in on some longs on Ethereum, and then I added some to my Solana. I did a Solana position, leverage position this morning, because I just felt like everybody was getting bearish and people were wondering if Jerome Powell was going to resign. There was like a rumor going around that Jerome Powell was going to resign from the Federal Reserve. And I just felt like it was just really too bearish, and if there's a lot of people that were thinking about selling, then that probably means it's a good time to be buying. And that so far has worked out for me today, thankfully. But yeah, Ethereum wasn't able to get down to $2,400 like I thought it would get down to. And it does have that 100-day support that would provide its support at $2,400. Doesn't mean that we can't go down there. Right? If we create a lower high here on the daily time frame, we get rejected again on that 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at 26.79. Then, yeah, the bear case is still in play that, you know, we could be making lower highs here on Ethereum, and then we got to come down and retest the lows here, make sure that these lows are actually going to stay, or we come down and we go down to the 100-day moving average or the 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is sitting down here at $2,065 here on Ethereum, and $2,065 is almost confluent with the 0.236 retracement level. We still could come down to $2,000, but I feel like the Ethereum bulls are going to defend $2,000. That's like a psychological target at this point, and I just can't really imagine Ethereum coming down there unless Bitcoin and the rest of cryptos coming down hard. But this is good to see that Ethereum is just consolidating. It's just, you know, if I get rid of the moving averages here real quick, we're just going sideways for the most part on Ethereum. Creating more volume at these levels, creating a nice support, so that way when we do go to higher prices, and I do think Ethereum can go to higher prices, but if we do go to higher prices, when we zoom out, this will be a nice base. If we ever come back down and get to like the mid-2000s, we'll have an actual support level here to work off of when we go to higher prices here on Ethereum. And right now, the 1618 Phipps extension level is saying that we could see Ethereum get up to $3,400. That is my long-term take profit target on Ethereum. That could happen later on this summer, maybe later on this year. Then there's also the 2618 that says Ethereum could get up to like almost $4,400. So I still have those long-term targets in play. I gave you the short term. I gave you the downside targets. If Ethereum does lose its momentum here, we could come down just above $2,000 in my opinion. But first we have to break through $2,400, which doesn't seem to be breaking right now. So kudos to the Ethereum bulls and longs for holding strong so far. Let's see. RF Khan is saying short is good long. Let's see what else we have here for the comments. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but it was hard to figure out this weekend whether we should short or long crypto here, but I think we still got to be bullish here on crypto and Bitcoin. As long as we go sideways, the case is for the bulls, not for the bears, right? Because the oscillators are now starting to reset. Before, Ethereum was overbought back in the second week of May here. Now it's not even overbought. Stochastics are also pretty low on the stochastic RSI, and you can see the MACD. Although we have some red candles, we're starting to get some pink candles. That means selling pressure is starting to die off on Ethereum. And then what happens when we get green candles here? And then we're probably going to go up to like $3,000 Ethereum. Okay. So, anyways, moving on to some other cryptos here. Let's take a look at Solana. Solana is at $157.47 right now. Solana is also seen on the MACD. The selling pressure is starting to die off a little bit. That's good to see. And also here on the stochastic RSI, we're pretty low. So, I mean, a lot of these cryptos, a lot of these altcoins, they're ready for to go up to higher prices if Bitcoin leads the way forward here. Okay, we'll take a look at Bitcoin at some point here, but we're going to focus on the altcoins right now. And as I turn on the moving averages here, I was eyeballing if Solana was going to go down to low prices here. I thought like the $144, $145 level was a Fibonacci level that's at the 0.5 retracement. That was confluent with the 50-day moving average, this green line at $144. So I thought maybe we come and visit basically the same level that we were at back in late April here. But this is also holding off pretty strong so far, okay? And if we start getting a move back up, you know, we do have the 100-day moving average as resistance and the 21 EMA as resistance. I see that resistance anywhere between 165 and basically 170. Could be some resistance for Solana, but once we get past that, basically that 786 retracement level there, we should try to then see if we can retest the 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at $179. And if we're able to beat that level, then we can actually start moving up to higher prices. And we do have a fib extension level that says that we could see a $234 Solana. That could happen later on this summer, maybe later on this year. Okay, but Solana is just slowly slogging its way through here. I gave you guys the downside targets and the upside targets, but I really feel like there's some fuel in the tank here for the rocket ship to go up on Solana, as well as some of these other altcoins here. Okay, you got stochastics are low, MACD less selling pressure, and you got RSI is also low, which means we could go to higher prices and still not even be overbought on Solana. Not like we were back in early May here. You know, a lot of altcoins were considered overbought by the first and second week of May here. And that's the reason why we had to kind of like chill out for a little bit, for like a couple of weeks here. Going doing some sideways trading. All right, let's see. I see some people coming in. If you guys have any requests, I'm willing to take some requests here, but I'm just going over the top altcoins by market cap here. We did Ethereum, Solana. I want to hold off on XRP. Well, maybe we'll go ahead and take a look at SUI right now, and then we'll see what XRP is doing. All right, but right now we're looking at SUI currently trading at $3.35. I got a few of my indicators here. Moving averages are really great right now to be looking at for SUI. Looks like SUI gave us a little good scare here this weekend, going below the 100-day moving average, which is this blue line right here, sitting at like $3.28, $3.30. Sui, right, is now starting to catch some bids, so that's good to see. All right, but we do have the 200-day moving average that could provide resistance at $3.46, and then the 21 EMA might actually act as resistance. But I think $3.46 makes a lot of sense here because that's where the 0.618 retracement is at for the Fibonacci traders. And then the 200-day moving average, for those who use moving averages, that $3.46 is going to be a tough nut to crack. But once we do, then we can start to flip bullish here on Sui. I see Lisa's in the chat. Nice to see you, Lisa. All right. Okay. Moving on to some downside. So we already talked about the downside for Sui, right? Is if we lose this 100-day moving average, then the 50-day moving average could provide some support at 289, which is confluent with the 0.382 level here at 295. So if Sui continues this downtrend, then you might be lucky enough to scoop some cheaper Sui between like 290 and 295 is where I would probably put some longs if I'm trying to get filled for cheaper prices on Sui. You could even put like a stop loss right below the 50-day moving average. So if we lose 280, if we lose 290 and we come down to like 285 or 286, you put a stop loss there. There's probably something wrong with Sui or the market in general, and you probably don't want to stick around for that because it could get pretty bloody here. But what I do like with Sui is that we are low on the RSI. We're like in the 44 range on the daily time frame here, and then MACD is showing that selling pressure is starting to die off on Sui. So all right, maybe the bulls are about to show up here. And then stochastic RSI is also pretty low here on Sui, saying that we could get ready to see higher prices for Sui. If I mean, I feel like this market in general is just looking for an excuse to go up, right? All we need is this excuse to go up. And could that excuse be trade deals? I mean, I heard that Donald Trump is going to be doing a phone call with the Chinese president later on this week. Could there be some bullish good news about the China trade deals? Or is it going to be bad news? And does that send us down to the lower realms here? I don't know. But if we continue going to higher prices here, we do have a 1618 that says we could see a $5 Sui. $5.59 is the 1618 level here. And then we also have the 2618 saying that we could see a $7 Sui. And if it gets up to $7, you should be selling some of your Sui because you're going to be basically doubling your money if Sui gets up to that price right there. Okay. Guys, I appreciate you hitting the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's see if we can get the amount of likes to match the amount of people watching the stream right now. Appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that. All right. So that's Sui in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. I feel like I'm going to talk about XRP right now, and then like maybe 30 minutes later, someone's going to say, hey, can you look at XRP? Well, we're looking at XRP right now. And hopefully, if you're watching this 30 minutes from now, you can go back and watch my analysis on XRP again. But yeah, here we go. I mean, we pretty much talk about XRP almost every live stream, so if you miss it on this one, you can see it on the next one. All right, so there we go. XRP currently trading at $2.20, and XRP is also showing that the selling pressure is starting to die off here, at least on the daily time frame. On the MACD, you get instead of red candles, you get pink candles, and pink usually turns into green at some point. If it keeps on going with that trend right there. Doesn't always mean that's the case. I mean, we could get back to solid reds again, and something's wrong if that's the case. But that is the start, the hope of seeing some higher prices here. And as you can see, the last few days here, ever since like Saturday, XRP has been climbing up. All right. Stochastic RSI is also pretty low here on XRP, just like a lot of these other cryptos and altcoins. I think these coins are ready to go up to higher prices. They're just looking for an excuse to go higher. And if it does continue to go higher, then we have the 200-day moving average. This red line is going to probably be the solid resistance line, sitting at $2.32. If XRP can get above 2,032 cents, then we can put our bullish hat on and say that we can be bullish on XRP. But it's probably gonna, it's probably gonna look something like this. It's probably gonna go above the 200-day move average, maybe come back down one more time, retest it, and then use that as support to go to higher prices for XRP. Quick disclaimer, I have some XRP. I'm actually a believer in XRP. I think XRP can go to higher prices, and if it does, I have to then, show you guys where I think XRP could go, right? If I turn on the VRVP here, okay, gives me these green and red bars off on the right here. If we can get past that $2.45 area and even $2.60, then, there's a gap in the VRVP here, and it says that we could see XRP come up to like $3.13. Okay, $3.13 is where XRP was trading at back in like late January. Even got as high as like $3.40. Okay, so it's possible. It's possible, and all it has to do is get past this resistance, this point of control. Point of control is sitting at 239, but then even you got some resistance here at 250 and 260. But once you get past that, there's a drop in the VRVP, and you could see XRP shoot up to like $3 in no time before sellers think it's a good idea to actually start selling their XRP. Okay, and then of course, just zooming out some more here, I do ultimately have a $5.21 target on XRP because just using Fibonacci analysis from $3.40 top that it made in January down to the 52-cent level that it started off in November, it gives us the 1618 saying that, yeah, XRP, XRP could be a $5 crypto. And if you do that, you're going to double your money with XRP as of now. And you should be selling some XRP. Any asset that you get involved in, whether it's crypto or stocks, if you double your money, you should consider selling something so you can book in those profits. That's how you actually make money. You have to sell at higher prices. So when it goes to higher prices, you should probably sell something. You don't have to sell all of it. You can sell like maybe 25% of it, 10% of it, 50% of it. You don't have to sell all of it. But in order to make money, you do have to sell high, right? The whole goal is to buy low and sell high. So if this thing gets up to $5, I know me personally, I'm gonna start selling at $5. I can't give you guys financial advice. That's just my opinion. That's what I plan on doing. So yeah. Let's see. Old Dusty Taco says, y'all bag holders steady trying to get people to buy XRP. I'm not a bag holder on XRP. XRP is one of my smaller positions, so I'm not really trying to, tout XRP. I actually bought XRP this year. So, I didn't have any XRP last year. So I only bought it because I saw some things here in the charts here that says that XRP could go to higher prices. All right. And I just know that, when XRP actually starts moving up to higher prices, the whole XRP army is going to go on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter and talk about how XRP is going to the moon. And the first people to get involved in crypto, they're going to hear about XRP first. So they're going to buy XRP because their friend told them about it and they saw it on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter. So yeah, XRP already has like a big marketing campaign from all the XRP investors that are out there. So I think XRP is going to be one of the coins that does pretty well during the next bull run here. Mainly because of that. They already got a big marketing team, which is just about everybody that owns crypto. All right. Let's see. I appreciate you guys hitting the follow button. Don't forget to hit the follow button so we can talk more about XRP and talk smack about it or talk good about it, whatever you want to talk about. We can just come on here and just talk about XRP if you want. But yeah, that's my upside targets for XRP. Now, I'll give you the bearish case, okay? I'll give you the bearish case for XRP, right? Because I'm not just a perma bull here, okay? If XRP, right, starts losing its momentum, right, we could come down to this value area low, which is this white line sitting at $1.99. I think that is the line in the sand that a lot of XRP investors are going to hold XRP to. You know, I keep hearing that if XRP goes below $2, a lot of these people are going to be buying XRP at $2. But if XRP loses $2, then that's going to give a lot of people a shock. It's going to scare some people to actually sell their XRP. And we could revisit the lows here that we did back in April when we saw XRP at $1.61 during the scary time with Trump's tariffs going into full force before we actually had a 90-day pause on tariffs. That is possible. We could see $1.60 XRP all over again. We also have a high volume node here at $1.45, which says that XRP could get some support at $1.45 or $1.50 if it does come down to those levels here. All right, but let's see. I'm zooming in here on the money flow indicator. Money flow indicator is showing that there was some green here back in May for XRP, but we actually have a little bit of red. There was a lot of green back in November. A lot of money went into XRP in November and December, even going into January. And it wasn't until like February that we started seeing red on the money flow indicator here, at least on the daily time frame. Right now, money flow indicator is showing a little bit of red, but we're starting to trend up. I see that. If this thing starts going into the green, the money flow indicator, then yeah, the bulls are back in charge again and they're pouring money into XRP. And we'll be on the lookout for that to see if money flow continues flowing into XRP. Right now, we got a little bit of money going out of it, but we'll pay attention to this in the next few days and weeks to see if money flow is starting to go into the green. And if it does, we could see a $3 XRP. We could see $3 or higher in XRP. All right. Old Dusty Taco. Old Dusty, why do you think XRP is bad? What did it do to you? Did it hurt you or something? I'm just curious. You think it's bad? Why bad? Why not good? Let's take a look at AVAX. AVAX is another layer 1 crypto altcoin here that it's been doing some solid work here. Okay, I would say it's currently trading at $21.34. Had a green day here on Monday, up about 1.29%. I got the VRVP on here. It gives me the levels here to look for. If Avalanche AVAX continues to go up to higher prices here, there's really nothing stopping it because you got a gap in the VRVP. This is like kind of like no man's land to be in this gap here. It wants to come right back up to $22. That's where the next high volume node is at. And then if we get past $22.50 here, then we have a value area high saying that we could see a $23 a $23 Avalanche. All right, that's the value area high. And if we get past that level, then we could probably see some more resistance at $25 here for Avalanche. Okay, so it's just slowly climbing up, making higher lows and higher highs on the way up. It's looking almost like textbook in my opinion here, as far as like making higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. This should have been a higher low, but it got violated. Then it made a lower high, lower low. So this was the downtrend that we're in right now. We got to break through this downtrend and actually get back up to making higher lows and higher highs again. The next higher high that it needs to beat is $26.84. If we can get above there, then you can say that this uptrend is probably still intact. And this was just a revisit of the lows back here in May. Right? We saw Avalanche get down to like $19.79, which was just a little bit above the beginning of May here when we saw it at $19.07. So, technically, still a higher low. Alright, still a higher low than this low. Okay? If we violate this low, then we have to start worrying about, is AVAX actually in a downtrend? And if it does go down, then we got the value area low sitting at 18 bucks. If we lose 18 bucks, then, oh, look out below. You could probably come down mostly to like $16. I believe $16, actually $14.65 was the low back in April. Yeah, you could if you lose 18 bucks, then you could come down to 14 bucks. on Avalanche. So just be careful. You still have to be careful with these cryptos. You can lose 30-40%, or you can also gain about 2 or 3x here. Wow, there's some XRP haters in here. You know, just the fact that there's some people that are talking bad about XRP leads me to believe that this thing is gonna rock your world and send us to higher prices here. We might see $3 XRP sooner rather than later, just with all this negativity about XRP in the chat. Oh man. All right, so I gave you the downside targets, upside targets on Avalanche. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano. Cardano currently trading at 69 cents, roughly 70 cents for the most part. We do have the point of control saying that there is some significant resistance. That's that blue line, significant resistance at 72 cents. If we can get past 72 cents on Cardano, then the volume drops off in the VRVP. We might not see any resistance until we get to like roughly 80 cents here. Last time we were at 80 cents was roughly Friday, May 23rd. So about a couple of weeks ago. And then you got a value area high showing that there should be some more resistance at like 83, 84 cents. But if you can get past that value area high, you could launch yourself up to about 93, 94, 95 cents here on Cardano. All right. Now that's the bullish case on Cardano. Let me just zoom in here. If we're gonna be bearish on Cardano here, right? I do have some Fibonacci levels here. We were supposed to try to defend the 65 cent level. Looks like we kind of did that here on Sunday, where we got as low as 65 cents and no lower than that. So looks like Fibonacci traders were paying attention to those levels here. They defended 65 cents, the 0.32 retracement. But if this is not going to hold, then we do have the 0.236 retracement saying that 60 cents should probably hold for Cardano. Or it could be the next level that we have to visit in order to get some more buyers to start to show up on Cardano. Now let me just zoom out here one more time. Yeah, if we lose that 60 cent level on Cardano, we could come down to this next high volume node at like 56 cents. And then also we have the low here at 51 cents on April 7th. So I think 60 cents needs to hold. If 60 cents doesn't really hold on Cardano, then I probably want out of Cardano. I would not want to be in Cardano because you don't know if you're gonna come down to lower prices of like 50 cents, and you don't even know if that's gonna hold. If we were to continue coming down on Cardano, let me just get rid of the VRVP real quick. I'll even get rid of this for now. If we were to continue to go down lower on Cardano, then this just validates the bearish case that we're making lower highs, right, and lower lows. And if we make lower lows than what we did here on April 7th, then yeah, I mean, you can't really call that a bull market anymore. You would have to say that you're actually in a bear market, or, you know, Cardano is in a bear market. All right, let's see. John 3:16 saying, gonna start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin on Friday. Payday feeling Bitcoin will top out at 125, 135K. I guess we could take a look at Bitcoin right now since you mentioned it. I mean, Bitcoin's climbing as we speak, $106,200. Right? This is higher than what we were yesterday and this weekend. This whole weekend was a steady climb up for Bitcoin. We got into my purple buy zone here. I highlighted that we should have been buying Bitcoin in between 102K and 105K, and that was from VRVP levels and also from the sideways trading action that we had back here in early May, going into late May. We had some sideways trading action, so this was a support zone that I thought that would hold for us if we're going to continue being bullish, and it looks like that's what we're doing here with Bitcoin. If this buy zone failed, then there was another buy zone, and that was using the VRVP data here. right? If I turn on the VRVP, you can see that there's some high volume nodes around this level at like 95,000 and also another one here at 97,000. So just using the VRVP, and also you can see there's some sideways trading action in this area. This would have been the next buy zone had we lost this one. But it looks like this one is being defended right now by the bulls, okay? Which is very good to see because that means Bitcoin might actually be more bullish. We might not be bullish enough on Bitcoin and crypto here. If this is the case, we're just making another higher low, going up to higher prices. And my buddy John thinks Bitcoin could get up to 125, 135K. And I think that's possible because if we look at my Fibonacci analysis that I've already done on Bitcoin, measuring from the lows here when Bitcoin was trading at roughly about $83,000, $84,000 in April. And then we topped out here at $112,000 in May, right? We got a 1618 fib extension level that says that Bitcoin could get up to like $129,000, almost $130,000. So kind of close to what you're already saying there, John. And then we got the 2618 saying that $158,000 Bitcoin could also be a possibility here in 2025. Okay. And I think I'm kind of keen on $158,000 Bitcoin being a long-term target here for Bitcoin in 2025, because if I turn on this other indicator here, some of you might know about it, some of you probably don't, but the Pi cycle indicator usually predicts when Bitcoin is going to top out, when the orange line catches up to the green line. Right now we have a lot of room to go before that orange line catches up to the green line. But right now, if the orange line was to, for some reason, do a B line and go straight up to the green line, then this green line is saying that Bitcoin can get up to $163,000, and it would just be normal. It would just be like expected. So we got the green line here at $163,000. We got the 2618 saying $158,000 Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has another $50,000 to go before we could say that this thing is getting a little bit overheated and overbought, right? Just looking at the Pi cycle indicator from past cycles, this is an indicator that kind of predicts the top of Bitcoin. And you can see that when that orange line actually does decide to catch up to the green line, it usually indicates within a few days, it actually predicts the week that you should sell your Bitcoin and you would be topping out. So this thing topped out right here around like April 16th when the orange line, actually was it? No, a little bit further back, but I believe it was sometime in April here that this orange line came up to the green line, and it did it right over there. Yeah, was it April 9th or 10th? Yeah, April. It was like April 13th. All right, the orange line got above the green line there, and you would have been selling your Bitcoin at like $63,000, which is pretty damn high price. That was like almost the top, right? It predicted the top right there. Okay, this Pi cycle indicator. So it's a pretty useful indicator. That was back in 2021. Okay, April of 2021, it predicted the top of Bitcoin. And then here in 2017, right, this orange line caught up to the green line, and it did that around like December 18th. Okay, December 18th, it said that you should have been selling Bitcoin, and you could have been selling your Bitcoin for $19,000 that day had you been paying attention to the Pi cycle indicator. So this indicator, very useful. And of course, over time, the orange line goes below, and it usually stays below the green line for the most part. Okay. When the price of Bitcoin actually catches up to the green line, usually a good time to sell, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the cycle. Only when the orange line catches up to the green line is at the end of the cycle. And that's the all-time high for Bitcoin. As you can see, like right here, back in like November of 2020, Bitcoin was climbing up. December of 2020, Bitcoin was climbing up. It got up to the green line, right? And, that could have been a good time to sell Bitcoin, but that price just continued going up exponential here. And that gave the orange line the jet fuel that it needed to climb up and catch up to the green line. And it didn't do that until like April of 2021. And you would have been selling your Bitcoin for like 60 grand. So, yeah, Pi cycle indicator. We're going to be looking at this indicator. Every time someone thinks like, Bitcoin's topping out, we're going to look at the Pi cycle indicator. And right now, we're not even close Like the orange line is saying that Bitcoin should be $92,000. The green line is saying no, Bitcoin should be $163,000. We probably got some more exponential explosive price action coming for Bitcoin. So that leads me to believe that we got some more things to be excited about later on in 2025 here. All right, Porky's in the chat. He's on TikTok. There are more prophecy believers in the chat. Hey, Porky, there's some people here that don't like XRP. You're not the only one. Glad to see that you made it into the live stream here, Porky. Guys, you should check out this other YouTuber on YouTube who talks about the charts, and he does some really good TA. Let me see if I can find Porky here. Yeah. So that's Porky right there. He's got a good amount of subscribers on his YouTube channel. He's trying to build up his TikTok. You guys can also find him on TikTok. So my TikTok guys, go ahead and check out Porky Flounder 65. Good guy to check out. Let me click on this channel here so we can actually see what he has. He usually goes live every night. Probably around, well, I'm a little bit doing a stream earlier than him, but I'm about to dip into his hours. He usually goes live around like 10 o'clock East Coast time, which is I think like 10, 9, 8, 7 o'clock his time in California. But he goes live every night, every day, and he does YouTube Shorts as well. And he's got some videos here about specific coins. He's always producing some content. You should check him out. Of course, you guys see me on my Meet Damien TikTok channel, but I believe Porky's trying to build up his following here on TikTok. Not as big as his YouTube following, but you could also find him on TikTok as well. Okay, gotta give a shout out to this guy because he's always giving me shout out to his followers and subscribers. So I gotta give him a shout out, especially if he makes it onto my channel here. I gotta give him a shout out. Yep. All right, let's see. I'm just reading my YouTube live chat here. Beyond Illusion, talk about Porky's Discord. Yeah, Porky has a Discord. First of all, let me direct you guys to my Discord. I do have a Meet Damien Discord where I post up my live streams when I go live. Okay. But then you guys can also find Porky's Discord, which is a little bit more livelier than my Discord at this moment. And you can see that, of course, there's me in the Discord on Porky's server. There's Porky right there. We got some funny memes and things here. It's just a good place to go to chat, talk about charts here. If you guys have a specific chart you want to look at during the daytime, Porky also he does chart requests. Okay, so if you have a specific chart you want to look at, Porky can look at it for you. Okay, here's me asking Porky about the price of gold. This was May 19th, and he gave me his target, his target price for the price of gold, and yeah, I felt like his analysis was pretty good, and yeah, you can check out Porky's Discord, but also don't forget to check out my Discord too. Jeez, here I am promoting Porky. You guys gotta check out my Discord. I'll put a funny. How many days has it been without us changing tariff policy? Actually, I think we can actually put a 1 there today. I don't think Donald Trump actually changed tariff policy today. But we'll see. Maybe he puts out a tweet later on tonight. Who knows? Yeah. I'm over here. This is my Discord here. All right, going back to the charts here. So we talked about Bitcoin. Yeah, I think Bitcoin could go up to higher prices here. 129,000 is a long-term target. Maybe later on in the summer here. We do have to get above that 112,000, which is now the high water mark, all-time high for Bitcoin. Maybe we might see that later on this week. You know, us only being about $6,000 away doesn't seem like it's too far off. All right, but let me go ahead and turn on some other indicators here. Let's see what the daily moving averages are doing here on Bitcoin. We got the 21 EMA. Could provide some resistance right now at $106,500, which is not that far away from where we are right now. We would like to flip that from resistance into support, because when it is being used as support, that means we can continue on our bull trend, uptrend here on Bitcoin. I do like the fact that the RSI is in the 50s for Bitcoin, so we have cooled down from being overbought here on May 22nd when Bitcoin got up to 112 grand. You know, we got an RSI of 78, but now the RSI is chilling out in the 50s here. Selling pressure is dying down on Bitcoin, so unfortunately for you bears and short sellers, Bitcoin is, you guys aren't doing hard enough. You guys gotta try harder to bring Bitcoin down, because right now the selling pressure is dying off on the MACD. At least in the last 3 days here, it's dying off. You're getting pink candles. Pink could easily turn to green, and then, you know, that means we're going to higher prices on Bitcoin. And then stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI is also low on the daily time frame here for Bitcoin. So we have the rocket fuel that's needed for us to go to higher prices on Bitcoin. And I think some people have some short-term targets of like $118,000 or $120,000 Bitcoin. But I'm going to stick to my long-term target here, $130,000, $129,000 Bitcoin. That's what I'm gearing up for. I might be a little bit more bullish than some other people, but there are so many indicators out there that say that we should be bullish. So yeah, I'm going to continue being bullish until the indicators say that we shouldn't be bullish. Now let me go into the weekly time frame. Maybe there might be something cooking in the weekly time frame that I'm not looking at. Weekly time frame, RSI is at 63, so we're not even overbought on the weekly. We were overbought in December, is when we were getting concerned about Bitcoin topping out. And then also March of 2024, we were really overbought on the RSI there when Bitcoin was at like $70,000. Making new all-time highs before it even got to the halving. That was crazy to see. But I think Bitcoin is not done yet. I actually read an interesting statistic about Bitcoin, guys, saying that Bitcoin, only 95% of it's been mined. But on top of that, 95% of people don't even own Bitcoin. Or at least 95% of the investment capital in the world. I shouldn't say people, because there's a good amount of people that do own a little bit of Bitcoin. But like 95% of investable capital, right, is not in Bitcoin. And that's trillions and trillions of dollars out there that's just not in Bitcoin as of yet. So what does that mean? It probably means the price of Bitcoin has to go higher than where it is right now. Let's see. Oh, Beyond Illusion, you're trying to put a Discord link for Porky and for my channel. Yeah, let me see if I can do a Discord link here. First I'll put on my link, because I gotta get some of you guys onto my Discord here. All right, let's see. Invite people. Copy that. Right. Put that in the stream here. Okay. All right. That's one Discord. That's my Discord right there. And then if you guys can then check out my man Porky here. Let's see. Let's see if I'm able to do this here. I'm not sure where exactly I have to go for that. All right. Invite people, copy, and then we'll put that in the stream here. Okay, so I got that in there. Oh, I see Trade Intuitions in the chat. Guys, go ahead and smash that like button, just like Trade Intuition just said just now. All right, all right. And then let me see. I got a Steel Cut Oats talk about XRP is so stable and efficient that Bitcoin finally has a means to travel faster than Swift. Okay, okay. That's one person's opinion right there. Let's see, guys. I'll give out one more shout out here to another YouTuber out here. I do watch Porky's channel, but you guys gotta check out this other guy's channel, Trade Intuition. Let's see if this thing should come up. Yep, there he is right there, and he's got a good amount of following. He's done a lot of content, a lot of videos, a lot of educational videos about how to trade. He's got some good music too. He's always putting out some music, just videos with his music. And then if you watch his live streams, he's got some good music as well. And then he's got the YouTube Shorts here and all his content, right? And you can also find him on TikTok as well. But I think he's also trying to build up his TikTok following, just like Porky. Yeah, go ahead and give him a look here. All right, let's get into some altcoins here. You guys have any altcoins you want me to take a look at, Joe and Beyond Illusion and John? I kind of want to take a look at. Let's take a look at virtuals for now. This is a very popular AI aging coin. This is one's trading at $1.99. We got the indicators here: stochastic, MACD, and RSI. Let's see. What's going on? Moving averages aren't really showing up here. Oh, this coin just hasn't been around long enough for the weekly time frame. Let's go into the daily time frame. Okay, there we go. We got some moving averages now. All right, zooming in to virtuals, right? Virtuals is a very strong cryptocurrency here because even though we came down after topping out here at like $2.58, we never actually came down to the 200-day moving average, this red line. That red line is at $1.62. If we did, we would be violating this low that we made here, this higher low here at like $1.66, okay? So it's still a possibility that we could come down to that level there at the 200-day moving average. But this thing is, I mean, if Bitcoin is going to continue screaming higher to higher prices here, then I feel like virtual is going to do the same thing and it's going to scream to higher prices as well. And I don't even have to look at the retracement levels here because I feel like we first have to break below the $1.62 area, the 200-day moving average, for us to start looking at these retracement levels here. But if this thing is not going to go any lower than what it already did on Saturday when it got as low as $1.80, okay, then we have to start looking at the fib extension levels here. And the fib extension level that I have is this $3.82 level here, which is the 1618 fib extension level. I think I drew a red line here because this also is confluent with some of the candlewick, at least the body opening and closings back here in January, middle of January here. So I think $3.80 should be a level that you should start considering selling virtual if you haven't sold any at that point. Okay, I have some virtual myself, and I'm planning on selling something. All right, and taking some profits on virtuals when it does get up to that point here. And if it does get up to that point, let's just measure that out here real quick here. See how much of a percentage gain that is. Going from where we are right now to that red line. It's almost a double from where we are right now. This thing could possibly double in price. And by God, if you've doubled in price on any asset, you should be selling something. Book in those profits. Alright, but yeah, that's just using fib extension and also using previous price action to give me that $3.80 target. That's my take profit target for virtuals here. Let's see, I'm going to get rid of the moving averages here, and I'm going to do another fib analysis here, just measuring from where we are, where we topped out at like $2.58 here, down to where we were trading at back in late April here. And this one is also saying, geez, it's still saying the 1618 is $3.86. Okay. I guess, no, that's pretty much similar to what I did here. Yeah, alright, let me just, I'll measure down here then. Let's see from this previous higher low that we made, $1.66. Then this is saying that the 1618, maybe there might be a short-term take profit target at $3.16 for virtuals. That could be your first take profit, and then the second take profit is going to be a $3.82. So this thing is saying that $3 is on deck for virtuals. What's going on? What's going on here? Why is my TikTok dimming down here? TikTok, what are you doing to me here? My screen is dimming down like it wants to ask me if I'm still here or not, and I am, but it's not asking me if I'm here or not. It's just dimming for whatever reason. It's weird. Oh, Porky's in the chat on YouTube now. Porky, hey Porky, how you doing? I see you, Porky. Yeah, Porky was in the TikTok, but you had some connection issues, and now you're asking how we doing today. Bingo, bango. What is going on here? Safety verification? What the hell is this thing doing? Yeah, I'm still here. What is this thing doing? Is this thing messing around with my, You guys messing up my TikTok here? Alright, yep, here we go. Alright. TikTok is kind of giving me a scare here. Yeah, something was going on there, Crypto Star, with my TikTok. It was saying something about like a service interruption, but I think I'm back with you guys here on TikTok. Alberto saying looks ready to buy. Okay. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, we looked at some of the popular altcoins out there. Let's see what's going on. What's going on? I kind of want to look at crypto bubbles, see what's going on in crypto bubble world here. All right, yeah, let's look at crypto. Actually, let's look at the liquidation heat map. So I did see earlier today on the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin. This is data coming off of Binance Exchange. There wasn't really that many liquidation at lower prices here. I mean, I'm showing you guys what it looks like right now, and I'll just click the refresh button just to see what the data is showing. Make sure I got the current data in there. But there wasn't really that much yellow at all. There wasn't any yellow earlier today, and I just felt like the sentiment was pretty bearish out there, and it led me to believe that we were going to get a bounce sooner rather than later. And I think that's, yeah, I mean, you can see it right now. We did bounce with Bitcoin and crypto towards the latter part of this afternoon and evening hours here. We still have some shorts that could get liquidated at $106,400. Then we have some more shorts that could get liquidated at $106,900. And then that's it for liquidation significant levels here. About $37 million at $106,900 and $43 million at $106,400. There are now currently some longs that could get liquidated if we come down to $103,262. There's about $44 million of longs that could get liquidated there. All right. Let's see. Let's take a look at liquidations. See what could possibly happen out there. What has been happening out there. In the last hour, the shorts have been getting liquidated. $16 million worth of shorts. Shorts are getting beat up in the last hour. And the last 4 hours, shorts have been getting beaten up again. Last 12 hours, a little bit of longs. Some longs were getting liquidated. And then the last 24 hours, there were longs that were getting liquidated at $76 million. But the shorts were still getting beat up with the liquidation here. So we want to see shorts getting liquidated so we can go to higher prices here for my crypto guys out there. And let's take a look at crypto bubbles here. Taking a look at today. Let's see. We got some green bubbles in there. Most cryptos are in the green. Looks like SPX is standing out here at 10.9%. I remember hearing Porky was taking a short on SPX. Hopefully you're out of that short from last night. Let me know how that went, if you don't mind. And then looks like significant red bubbles is only like, we have White Rock here. Is down 9.2%. That's interesting. Maybe that could be a buying opportunity. And then we got Flare, I believe. Yeah, Flare is also down about 6.8% today. Porky took some profit. Good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. So it sounds like you got stopped out in profit. That's a good thing. That means you managed the trade pretty well, even though it looks like it would have went pretty bad for you if you didn't manage it well, because SPX came up 11% today. Looking at the past week here, there is some red here, and okay, now that makes sense. Now I know why White Rock is down today, because White Rock has been up this past week, up 156%. Looks like the winner for last week was White Rock, and then the next winner is actually SPX. SPX 6,900, up 36% this past week. So, just looking at these crypto bubbles, it just leads me to believe that there's no room to go up to the upside here, because I feel like a lot of these altcoins have been beaten down. We have Solana down 8%, Bonk down 11%, Stacks down 12% this past week, WIF down 13%, Radium down 23%. With all this red, I mean, was it expected of us to have another red week in altcoin world? I don't think so. That's why I had to be cautiously bearish. But as soon as I started seeing some bullish momentum, I was like, all right, I get it. We're gonna go up. We're gonna be bullish this week, or at least right now we're gonna be bullish on crypto. And I think the altcoins have room to run here, trying to catch up to Bitcoin. Bitcoin only down 2.5% this past week. Okay. So, yeah, I think we have some room to run here on crypto. A lot of these altcoins, they have low stochastics on the daily and higher time frame here. I think there's definitely some room to run. Let's take a look. I am in a long on Ethereum, and I'm also on a long on Solana here. And wow, I'm just feeling really good, really good seeing that Ethereum price go up right now, 26.28. Looks like we'll see if Ethereum can get above the high water mark here at 27.89. But let me turn on the moving averages here. We're really eyeballing this 200-day moving average on Ethereum at 26.79. Could provide some resistance. We're only about like $50 away from that. So be on the lookout for maybe a violent reaction if Ethereum gets up to 26.79. We might get a little bit of a pullback when we get to that level there. So I guess I can keep pushing my trade on Ethereum until we get closer to like 26.70 here. All right, I see Rich is in the chat. You just opened a Pepe and Kaz long this morning. Pepe is up 125% for you. Congratulations. And looks like it could do 250. Well, that'd be nice. So maybe you could do like a bracket sell order where you can sell a little bit in profit, but also keep pushing it to your take profit target so you can get 250% there. That'd be nice. That's how I usually do my orders on the exchanges. I'll do a bracket order where I can sell hopefully in profit with a stop loss, or I could sell at a higher profit with my take profit. Crypto, you're saying I am still lagging. That's interesting. Let me see. Let me see if I can turn on the Wi-Fi here for my phone. That's probably why my TikTok stream is dying off right now. I got more people on YouTube than TikTok guys. Thank you, YouTube guys, for coming out, showing up here. I'm having some connection issues with TikTok, and it's kind of killing my stream right now on TikTok. All right, I just joined the Wi-Fi. I just rejoined the Wi-Fi. Hopefully that fixes the issue with my streaming on TikTok here. I'm doing a stream on TikTok and YouTube, so just bear with me here. I'm trying to do it all. I'm just a one-man show, and trying my best here, guys. So Ethereum looking pretty solid, pretty good. Solana looking pretty solid as well. Let's see. I guess we could take a look at Pepe and Cas to see why it's doing so well for you there, Rich. And let me just read some comments here. Porky saying sleep is always important. Trade is getting very little sleep. Oh no, Trade. And then Porky said you took 20% profit, and yeah, you moved the stop loss, and the shorts on the morning didn't do as well. Yeah, Porky, I was shorting Ethereum this weekend, and then it just went the other way, and then that's when I flipped bullish. I was like, all right, maybe I need to go long on Ethereum, and so far it's working out pretty well for me. I had to flip bullish on Ethereum. Okay, let's see. Let's look at Pepe USD. All right, so Pepe coin currently trading at 12.56 right here. Already, the thing that sticks out to me is that I see the selling pressure is dying down on the MACD. Okay, you want to keep on seeing that selling pressure die down and continue going up to higher prices here. If you're going to be bullish here on Pepe, you do have a 200-day moving average right above you at 1307. That could be some short-term resistance. You eventually want to flip that from resistance into support at some point, and stop using it as resistance. All right, I'm zooming out here on Pepe. I already done a Fibonacci analysis on Pepe, but yeah, going back into the fibs here. I think I talked about Pepe earlier this week, and I said we could see Pepe, right, get bounced in between the 0.236 retracement level and the 0.382 retracement level, and that's at 1,000 and 1107. And I was targeting the 100-day moving average, which is sitting right in between the fib levels here. But we didn't even get down there. We just decided, nope, never mind, we're going up. So maybe we come right back up to 1300 on Pepe, and that's confluent with the 0.618 at 1279. And once you get past 1300, then you got the 0.786 retracement, could act as your next near-term resistance at 1400. And that's an area where you were trading sideways for the most part over the last few weeks here on Pepe. So 1400 should be your next take profit target. And if you want to push the trade to higher prices than that, then we do have a 1618 saying that, Pepe could get up to like 2009. Okay. If it can get if it can get past 1400 and 1500, then yeah, we're looking at 2000 as your next take profit target for Pepe. Alrighty. Okay, that's Pepe. Let's take a look at Caspa. We see Caspa is currently trading at 9 cents right now, up about 0.74%. And like a lot of these other altcoins out there, stochastics are low on the daily time frame. Selling pressure is starting to die down. Are we gearing up for a bull run? You know, I mean, what is going to be the news coming out that kind of validates what we're seeing on the charts? I think we're going to see some trade deals, guys. Just the way the charts are looking right now. You know, tell me, look at the charts and then I'll tell you the news. I think the news, just based off of these charts, is we're going to see some bullish news coming out in the next few weeks here. With the low stochastics and selling pressure dying down on a lot of these altcoins and cryptos. I haven't really been looking at the stock market, but I'm pretty sure the stock market charts are looking the same way as well. But just looking at Caspa right now, looks like you defended the 50-day moving average, at least on Kraken Exchange here. That 50-day moving average was sitting at like 8.5 cents. You did go below that on Saturday, but that was the low water mark there. And you've been getting some green candles here, pushing you above the 50-day moving average. So good to see that you're above the 50-day moving average. Then the next thing you want to do is try to get above that 100-day, sitting at like 9.5 cents. And then maybe this 21 EMA might act as resistance at 10.5 cents here. But this is, I don't really have that much data, at least not on Kraken Exchange. Let me see if I can find another KS. See if I can find it maybe on like, yeah, let's see what it looks like on Mexi. Here we got more data here. All right, I got more data now to work with. So yeah, just going back to the analysis using moving averages here. The 200 is probably going to act as your long-term resistance. You should be targeting 10.5 cents or 0.108 cents to be exact as your take profit target on Caspa. And that's almost confluent with the 0.618 retracement level at 10.5 cents from this previous Fibonacci analysis that I've done on this coin. You do have a 0.786 retracement at 11.5 cents, which I think is confluent with the tops here that you made in May when this thing was at almost 12 cents. So that would be another take profit target. And yeah, I can continue being more bullish and show you the 1618. 1618 says this thing could be 17.5 cents later on in 2025, maybe. And you'd be doubling your money. And like I said, a lot of these altcoins, they look like they could double in price from where they are. I think even Bitcoin could double in price from where it is right now. And I don't think I'm being too bullish by saying that. I think Bitcoin could still be a $200,000 coin, right? But yeah, I think a lot of these coins, including Bitcoin, could double in price. And if they do, then you should consider selling something. You don't sell all of it. I know some people, after they double in price on an asset, they'll sell half of it and then keep half of it in there. So you sell half, you get your money back, and then you keep half of it in there and let it do its thing or whatever you want it to do. But then, you could also just sell all of it and just double your money, or you could sell maybe 10, 20, 30%, sell something so you can book your profits. All right, Guro is in the chat. Can I look at L3? Is that the ticker symbol? Or are you asking me, do you want me to look at a layer 3 crypto coin? What are some examples of immutable smart contracts? I actually don't know much about immutable smart contracts myself, so I would have to do research on that. I don't want to just blatantly lie to you and say, oh yeah, this is what I know about immutable smart contracts. Alright, let's take a look at L3. For my buddy Guerrero. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I got a lot of results here for L3. Is that Dolphin Drilling, L3H, L3X, or is this a cryptocurrency L3? Layer 3 on Coinbase? Alright, yeah, you said crypto. Okay, yep. So here we are. We're looking at L3 on Coinbase exchange. I don't really have that much data. Let me see if I can find another exchange that's had it for a little bit longer than Coinbase. Alright, let's take a look at it. Mexi usually gets the first. They usually get these coins on their exchange before the other exchanges do. Layer 3. Looks like this thing's been trading since August of 2024. Relatively new cryptocurrency, but I do have some data to work with now. Just getting familiar with this chart here. It looks like we topped out on March at like 15.5 cents. That's interesting. That was like almost like near the peak of the mini bear market that we had in crypto. This thing was going up while all the coins were going down. That's interesting. You do have a 200-day moving average at 8.5 cents on L3. That's going to probably be your near-term resistance and take profit target. As you climb up and you want to turn this 200-day moving average from resistance into support. Maybe bounce off the 200-day moving average as support and then go to higher prices after that. What I don't like about this coin is the RSI does look pretty high right now. You were on what? Oh yeah, today or earlier today you were at 70 on the RSI, which is that's overbought. That's overbought. And right now, today or tonight, you're at an RSI of 67. So yeah, that's it's a little bit overheated. Probably needs to consolidate a little bit, go sideways at best. Maybe it comes down a little bit. Interesting. MACD was showing red candles for the most part in May, but then you flip bullish. You had a bullish flip on the MACD on Sunday here. This thing went up 27% on Sunday, and then it went up 46% earlier today. Wow, that's interesting. Was there a bit of good news that came out on layer 3, or is this just a fluke from like some whale that decided to buy in? So Stochastic RSI is now starting to get high. So I would tread with caution. Hopefully you already made money on this crypto and you're selling right now. Trying to maybe buy back in at lower prices here. What I can do for you is I could do a little bit of Fibonacci analysis here, measuring from the top here at 10.5 cents down to the low here that we made at like 4 cents. And if we do come down, right, I want to see if like any of these moving averages are confluent with the fib levels, because that's going to be usually a strong level if this thing continues going down to lower prices here. And right now, I think I see the 50-day, this green line here. 50-day is sitting at 6.5 cents, and that's confluent with the 0.382. So I would target 6.5 cents to buy some more layer 3 if I was inclined to do so. Then you got a 21 EMA here at 5.5 cents, and that's kind of confluent with the 0.236 retracement. So I'd probably put some buy limit orders in, see if I get filled at 6.5 cents, and then also at like 5.5 cents, or maybe like 0.058 to be exact, at that 0.236 retracement. Remember, there's going to be other Fibonacci traders out there that are using this, and they might try to front run you. They might try to buy at like 6 cents before this thing even gets down to 0.058. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You might get front run by other traders out there. But looks like we already came down to the 0.618 retracement. So Fibonacci traders, we're looking at 8 cents as a an area that could be confluent with the 100-day moving average, which is also at 8 cents. So looks like this 100-day moving average and the 0.618 was where the longs or the bulls decided to show up and actually buy at these discounted prices compared to where it was yesterday at like 10.5 cents, 10 cents. So 0.618 has already come into play here, and the 100-day moving average has come into play, so they're buying right now. But yeah, if you lose this, then I'm not sure if the 0.5 is going to be the next level, but 0.382 has some confluence with the 50-day, so that I'd probably be buying in between 7.5 cents and 7 cents if you're lucky enough to get it. But if Bitcoin continues going to higher prices and these other altcoins going up to higher prices, and I think this might just be the low for now, and this thing might try to creep up and get up to that 200-day moving average at 8.5 cents. And then you're gonna have to see how it feels when it gets to 9 cents, which is the 786 retracement. And if you get past that, then yeah, we're going back up to 10, 11 cents all over again on layer 3. And then we have the 1618 as a long-term target at 14 cents. And hopefully you bought, at 7 cents or lower, because if you did, and this thing gets up to 1618 at 14 cents, you're going to be doubling your investment, and you should be selling when it gets up to 14 cents. And let's see, 14 cents was also kind of like the high water mark here back in March. So anybody that bought here in March, they're like, oh man. But if they get up to like 14 cents, they're like, oh, I can break even. So I think 14 cents you should be selling, along with the other people that bought at 14 cents back in March. All right, Rich is going to go get something to eat, but he's going to stick around and lurk for a little bit. I appreciate that. Even if you keep me in the background and you're just listening in the background, I appreciate that. You don't have to watch the stream. You can also just listen to it and just keep it playing. That helps me out on the YouTube algorithm with the watch time. You guys are watching, but not really. But you're still listening to me. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, Guerrero. I'm glad. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for liking the live. Hopefully we were able to get some more people to show up. I had some streaming issues on TikTok. That's why I lost some of my viewers here. But I think we're having a good stream so far. I'm also streaming on YouTube, so if for whatever reason, like if you guys have TikTok and YouTube, and I'm having problems with one of them, you can come find me on the other platform, so you don't lose me. I don't know why TikTok was giving me issues, but it was. I think it was like some internet connection issue, maybe because I don't think my Wi-Fi was connected on my phone here. And I just had to reconnect it, and I think that fixed the issue. But then also, I don't know, there was something was going on where it wanted to check to see if I was still there, live streaming. I was like, yes, I'm still here, TikTok. Anyways, what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin at 106,360 and Ethereum at 2626. All right, very nice, very nice. You guys have any other more requests? I was gonna try to see if I can make this a 2-hour live stream here. Where I think we're currently at an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half. I still got some more time to do some requests if you guys have some requests. And then I'm gonna try to join my man Porky. I know he goes live, around this time. I might be dipping into his live stream time. Porky, are you still there? Yep. Oh. Yeah, Porky's still there. You said you missed Theta. Oh, well, let's take a look at Theta. Let's see why you might have missed it. Theta currently trading at 80 cents right now. Looking at the daily time frame. What did you miss? Did you miss the lows this weekend? This thing was as low as 69 cents. Which is almost like the same lows back in early May here at 66 cents. I don't know what there was to be missing here? Did you miss the short on it? Were you trying to short theta? I think you can still go long on theta and be alright. Yeah, selling pressure's dying down, stochastic's low. RSI is relatively low. Let's see, RSI is at 46. I think this thing's ready to run. It's just looking for an excuse to run up to higher prices. I mean, it's been in a downtrend, making these lower highs on the daily time frame here. But technically, it made a higher low than what it did here back in early May. 69 cents, 70 cents was the low here on Saturday. And then, what, 66 cents on May 6th here. So, still a higher low, believe it or not, right? You still made a higher low compared to what you did in May. You might have been really pushing it, you know, by the skin of your teeth here, but you are technically making a higher low on the daily time frame. You can still be, you're still in an uptrend, you can still be bullish. You are trying to make higher highs though, so we got to stop it with this nonsense here with making these lower highs here. And with theta, you want to get at least higher than this high back here in May 14th, when we get as high as $1.08. Yeah, $1.08 seems to be the high water mark here, so I'll just mark that out on the chart in case I ever come back to this later. $1.08, get above that, and you can really be bullish on theta. And I bet you, you know, over time, if this thing does climb up to $1.08, that's probably going to be where this, all right, I'll even draw this out here. That's probably going to be where this 100-day moving average, that blue line, if I extend it out a little bit, right? It's probably going to act as resistance at $1.08. I mean, if this thing just screams up higher, then $1.08 should be your take profit target, and it's going to be resistance. But this thing, the way this 100-day moving average is coming down, you know, we might hit that resistance at maybe $1, right? Let me just draw another trend line here. Game playing this out. If this thing continues this uptrend right now, X marks the spot. Looks like on June 19th, you could get resistance from the 100-day moving average, and it looks like it's going to happen at $1. So that makes sense. Yeah, psychological level, $1. I think $1 theta will be your take profit target. Because by that point, the 100-day moving average is probably going to act as resistance. And if you're continuing this uptrend, then you're going to hit that resistance on June 19th. Mark it on your calendar. Doing a little future prediction price. Acting like a psychic. Using the charts here. Why not? Why not? What was that famous psychic Cleo? You ever see those Cleo commercials with the psychic commercials? I'm acting like a psychic right now. June 19th, 100-day moving average should act as resistance. Maintain this uptrend, and you should get rejected at the $1 level. Let's see. Rich wants me to check out Hex. Can you give me the ticker symbol for Hex? Because I think there's like a few ticker symbols for Hex. Can you tell me which one you look at? Yeah, Trade Joe remembers Miss Cleo. I'm acting like Miss Cleo using trend analysis here to figure out where the resistance might be for theta. You know, that 100-day moving average, if it continues going down to $1, and this thing continues climbing up to $1, I think $1 seems about right. You know, it's a psychological number, and it seems to be where the 100-day moving average will act as resistance, in my opinion. I should go get a crystal ball now. All right. Oh, I got a few more people showing up on my TikTok stream. Thank God, because it was not looking you know, I had some connection issues that were messing up my live stream, and I lost some of my viewers. Alright, so I'm going to look at Hex for Rich, and then I got another request here for what was that? HNT and ZBEC. Okay, HNT and then ZBEC. Appreciate the request. I've been going live. I've been live for about an hour and a half. I'm gonna try to go for another 30 minutes here. So, you know, in the next 30 minutes, I'll be able to go through these requests. Thank you, guys. And I see Ross is in the chat. I know you're one of my consistent viewers here on my TikTok streams. Appreciate you coming out. And we'll take a look at your requests as well. All right, let's go ahead and look at Hex. Okay, we're gonna look at Hex. Not USDT. Okay. I'm gonna try this one. So here we are looking at Hex. Currently, hopefully that's the right price. It says it's been delisted. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. This was from December 2024. I can't really analyze that. Nope. All right. Maybe try on Pulse Chain. All right. So this is Hex right now on Pulse Chain. Currently trading at 0.0064 pennies. We're just gonna say 64,000. I'm sorry, not 64. 6,473. Just eyeballing this chart. I do see, as long as you maintain this trend here, right? You are making higher lows. Hopefully, this is the lowest point here, and you're just making a higher low. And then, of course, you want to start making higher highs. The last higher high that you need to get above here is 0.0016 pennies. So I'll just mark that out on the chart here. I want to see you get above this level. The 10,026 level here. We'll see how it does. Right now, you're below all the moving averages here. Oh no. Oh no. I think I need to plug in the phone here. I've been live streaming for too long, and this thing is it's telling me I have 20% battery on my phone. So here we go. Let's fix that issue. Don't allow. Okay. I said don't allow. Okay. All right. So here we are. We're just currently looking at Hex from my buddy Rich here. Below all the moving averages here, so that's unfortunate, I guess you could say. This thing has seen better days here during the altcoin season of last year in December. We saw this thing as high as almost 3 cents. Okay. But if this does climb up to higher prices, you do have the moving averages that will act as resistance. Right now, 200-day moving average is probably what most traders are looking at 1,000 and 10,342. And then you also have the 100-day moving average at 11,072. So I think once you get up to like roughly 1 penny here, you should be selling, take profit. This should be your take profit levels in this area. And then could this thing go higher? I'm just looking at previous price action. Let me get rid of the moving averages. Looking at previous price action. I think around here. Yeah, because I see some candlewick. I see some body closes and some openings at this level. I see a little bit of sideways trading action at this level. I think I would be targeting. I'd be targeting right here, 14.014 cents, almost a penny and a half. Anywhere between like a 0.014 cents and a penny and a half is where I would be targeting. You basically be doubling your money at that point, and you should be happy, and you should be taking profit. Oscillator is looking good on Hex. RSI is currently at 37.95. You're almost close to being oversold. Anything at below 30 is considered oversold on the RSI. MACD, you're starting to get some pink. You're flirting with pink and dark red, so I don't know if I like that, but you want to see some more pink candles that will then eventually turn into green. And stochastic RSI is low, so this thing has the ability to go to higher prices here. As long as you don't lose this downtrend here. I mean, as long as you don't lose this uptrend here, you should hopefully start seeing some bids coming in and this thing going up to higher prices. But if you lose this trend, I'd be a little bit worried, but maybe you could catch this thing at like a half a penny or catch it near the lows back in May here. But if you lose the lows here in May, I probably want nothing to do with this crypto. Probably means there's something wrong with it and you should stay away. All right, that's Hex. Let's take a look at HNT. Helium on Coinbase Exchange, currently trading at $3.36 right now. And what do we got? We got possible higher low compared to what we were doing here in April. And I also see this was a double bottom here, which sent us up to higher prices, obviously. But you want to count this as a higher low than what you were doing here back in April, right? Let me go ahead and turn the moving averages, see what the moving averages are doing to us. Oh, okay, so you got some resistance right above you with the moving averages. You're flirting with the 50-day moving average at $3.44, but probably the next resistance is going to be that $3.71 level with the 100-day moving average. And then if you can get past that level, then 200-day moving average could act as resistance at $4.58. Now, you know, granted, over time, this thing's going to climb with the higher prices, and this red line is going to probably continue going down at the same time. So maybe like $4.50. If I put on my Clio crystal ball hat on, I think $4.50 is probably going to be your resistance. And I think that's also confluent with this high that you made back here in April. Yeah, you got up to like $4.47 and then $4.50. Yeah, I think $4.50. So just game planning this out, I think $4.50 is going to be your first take profit target. And that's probably going to be where the 200 day is going to knock you back down again if you continue going up to higher prices here. Well, yeah, just like a lot of these other cryptos, low stochastics, selling pressure dying down, and RSI is also low. Another good crypto to at least take a look at, see if you like it, and there could be some higher prices for helium. There might be some more money going in. Let me go ahead and I'll take a look at the money flow. I want to see what money flow is doing for this asset. I want VRVP. Money flow indicator is this indicator on the bottom. You see that money was leaving back in March, then money started coming in April. You got all this green here, and now it looks like money flow is showing a little bit of red here, but this looks like it's very temporary and it's weak. And maybe we start seeing some green on the money flow in the next few days and weeks to come here, and that would cause this price to go back up again. All right. Ross, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, you want me to take a look at Algo now? Okay, we'll put that after ZBEC. All right, guys, is this a good time for me to stream? Because I can do streams, you know, later on like this, if I get a good amount of people to show up in the streams here. I feel like we got a good amount so far. I usually do afternoon streams because I like to try to get it out of the way. You know, I like to get the streams in as early as I can, or maybe around like 5 or 6 p.m. But if 8 p.m. to like 10 p.m. East Coast time works for you guys, I could do another stream like this. Yeah, I got Joe Kidd saying this is a good time. Okay. I'll try to do some more late night streams. Well, this is late night for me, but I'll try to do like night streams every now and then if I can get a good amount of people to show up to them. Usually I do streams around like 5 or 6 p.m. and I get the dinner crowd. You know, people probably busy, you know, cooking dinner and whatnot, but you know, they can always watch the stream after they cook dinner, or they can just listen to me while they're cooking. Let's see. We looked at helium. I gave you the price targets for that one. I think 450 is your upside target. All right, we'll look at the ZBEC. Looking at ZBET network, currently trading at 0.0056 pennies. I got some previous chart work here, because I know someone has asked about this already. Let me go ahead back to my normal indicators here. Looks like this thing already had its bull run back in late May, going into June here. And you need to cool down. The RSI got overheated on May 26th, and now the RSI is at 64. So okay, a little bit better. It gives you a chance to start going up again and not be overbought. Let's see. I'm zooming in here a little bit more. Looks like this is this Tuesday? So Tuesday has like almost like a hammer candle showing up right now. But this is just the beginning of the day. We still got like 22 hours left in this candle. You had a nice, well, not a nice, I guess, for those who are long, but you had a pretty solid bearish engulfing red candle here on the daily time frame on Monday. It came down 15%. All right, on ZBEC here. And I got some old Fibonacci analysis. I don't know if this is applicable, so let me go ahead and get rid of this for now. But ZBEC is very, very bullish here, above all its moving averages, including the 21 EMA, which means that it might be overbought and it needs to cool down some more. We'll see how this 21 EMA acts, but if I just put on my Clio hat again one more time and I just extend this 21 EMA, and I do this, guys. I do, especially if I'm day trading and I'm using the moving averages. I will actually extend the moving averages, figure out when we might get some reactions here on the moving averages. If this thing just trades sideways for a little bit here, you could get a reaction on Thursday, June 12th. If this thing is going to continue being bullish, then it should try to, you know, shoot up to higher prices by that point, if it hasn't done so already. But this thing could just trade sideways until June 12th, is basically what I'm trying to tell you here with ZBEC. There's no guarantee that it's going to go to higher prices here, mainly because it's already at higher prices. It's above all its moving averages, and the RSI just recently cooled down, but it might need to cool down some more. And it could do that just by going sideways. It doesn't have to go down. It could just go sideways here. Jeez, I'm trying to get the MACD. What's the MACD showing? MACD could show us that the buyers are actually coming in right now. Let's see. As I start zooming in here a little bit more. Okay, so actually, the opposite of some of these other cryptos here, buying pressure was pretty strong back in May, but now you're starting to get light green instead of dark green. The buying pressure is dying down on ZBEC, which means that you're most likely going to go sideways or possibly go down in price here on ZBEC. And if it does go down, then we could figure out what the retracement level might be using Fibonacci analysis here. Measure from the top here at like 0.007 pennies here, down to where it was trading at back in April at like 0.018. And I have Fibonacci here. Usually with Fibonacci analysis, you usually come down to the 0.618 retracement is where most traders would start buying again to see if they can catch a discount on this asset. And that's saying that this thing could get down to 0.0051 pennies. Okay. Which I think we already did, right? Yeah, we came down to 0.0049 pennies. Tonight? We came down to that level tonight? Man, I have to go into like the 15-minute time frame to see when that hit. Yeah, around like 8:45. About an hour ago, we came down to that level. So we already hit that level. We already hit the 0.618 already. Okay. But if this thing is, if an asset is extremely bullish, then usually you don't even get down to the 0.618 level. You get like a 0.786 retracement, and then you go up to higher prices. But we've already hit the normal retracement, the golden pocket, so maybe the lows are in for ZBEC. Or maybe not. Maybe it comes down to the 0.5, and the 0.5 is saying that this thing could come down to 0.0045 pennies. Okay? So maybe you could get, if you didn't get the 0.005 level, see if you could put some buy limit orders in at that level, but then you might also get lucky enough to get 0.0045, and I'd be putting some buy limit orders in there as well to see if you can catch the low in this area. But if this thing does continue being bullish and we go up to higher prices, then the 1618 is saying that we could see a penny. And you should have been doubling your money by that point, and you should be happy. You should be happy about that point. Yeah. Thanks, Joe, for hitting that like button there. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. Ross is also saying this is a good time. I'll have to take that in consideration that I can go live a little bit later, and you guys will actually show up, and yeah, we can have a good old time looking at these altcoins. I can also look at stocks, but I think I titled the video to this live stream as altcoin stream. So here we are talking about altcoins. But I am gonna probably wrap this live stream up. We'll still talk about algo, and then I think I'm gonna look at Bitcoin one last time to end the live stream here. And then Rich is saying that this is a good time. Okay, so I got my late night guys, you guys, or my night guys, my night shift, my night crew. You guys can usually find me during the afternoons. But I think maybe tomorrow we'll try to do like a live stream around like 5 or 6 p.m. Hopefully that's a good time. Maybe I'll try to do like an hour or two live stream from like maybe like 5 to 7 or 6 to 8. And then yeah, then I got other things I need to do. And 2 hours seems to be a good enough live stream. So I don't know if I have the energy to do 3 hours. Maybe if Bitcoin was at all-time highs, I might do a 3-hour live stream. All right, let's see. We're gonna look at Algorand. Algorand on Binance Exchange. Sure, why not? Algorand currently trading at 20 cents. Yeah, some green candles here on the daily time frame here. RSI is low at 42.7. Anytime it's below 50, I consider that low. So it has room to run if it wants to run up to higher prices. Selling pressure is dying off. Opposite of ZBEC, where buying pressure is dying down. And stochastic RSI is low. So just like a lot of these other altcoins, this thing is ready to make a run up to higher prices. I'm not a perma bull or a perma bear. I'm just realistic, and I'm just looking at the indicators here, and they're saying that a lot of these altcoins are showing that they have the room, they have the possibility of going to higher prices here. And Algorand looks like just like another one that could go to higher prices here. All right. So with Algorand, what do we got here? You were in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs until May 12th. Then you started making lower high lower low. Well, not really. Yeah, this is still a higher low considering this one. But then you made that lower high, but then you made a lower low than what you did here on May 6th. May 6th, we got as low as 19 cents. This one came down to like 18.5 cents. This could be considered, right? I'll just draw a horizontal line. This could be a double bottom, right? For those who don't know how to measure a double bottom or qualify what is a double bottom, it has to be at somewhere between 1 to 3%. So this low right here was like 19 cents, okay? And then the other low was like around this red line. It's about like 3.5%. So that qualifies. That's a double bottom. This is a double bottom, okay? And the way these double bottoms play out, right? Or, you know, if you ever read up on Investopedia and how to trade a double bottom, you measure from the where the two bottoms are, right? And you measure to the top in between the two bottoms, which was, I think, like 25 cents here. Yeah, it got to like 25.95. Okay. And you just take that measured move and you put it on top of the top in between the two bottoms here. And it gives you a measured move, right? And a prediction of where the price could go if the double bottom plays out fully. And you get that blue number right there. This thing should get up to 32 cents if the double bottom plays out like it should, okay? Doesn't mean that it's going to play out that way. It just means that it could get to 32 cents and it would actually be just the double bottom playing out. Now, if it does go up to 32 cents, it has to contend against, and it's going to get resistance from this 28 cent level here where the 200-day moving average is sitting at currently right now, okay? And then, of course, you get the 100-day moving average at 25 cents. And right now, a lot of traders are probably eyeballing this 50-day moving average at roughly 21 cents. So 21 cents is your short-term take profit target if you're day trading. And then if it gets past that, then yeah, you want to get up to like 25 cents, which is where you were trading at back on May 11th and May 10th here. So that could also be some resistance. But ultimately, I think you could take this thing up to 28 cents and then also 32 cents. Those will be your longer term take profit targets. And let's see. Ooh, wow. Look at this. 28 cents, 29 cents. That seems to be where you had a candle body opening and closing. You had a close here at 29 cents and a close and an opening at 29 cents back in March. So, yeah, I think 29 cents is going to be your ultimate resistance level. And if you get past that, then the double bottom measured move says 32 cents could be your next take profit target. All right. Rich is saying good times, good times. Rich is also saying you look on desk because the exchanges were playing games with Pulse Chain coins when the SEC lawsuit was still a thing. Oh, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that. Always learning something new in crypto. All right, let's see. Appreciate you guys coming out to the live stream here and taking a look at the charts here with me. I think we'll finish off here on Bitcoin, and then that's going to be it for this live stream. You'll be able to catch me tomorrow. I think we're planning on seeing me at 5 or 6 p.m. will be my start time. I'll try to do like another maybe 2-hour live stream for you guys here, and then yeah, just keep the ball rolling. Keep looking at these charts. I think we have some good times ahead of us. I'm not sure why, but crypto looks like it wants to go higher. Bitcoin looks like it wants to go higher. Selling pressure is dying off here on the MACD, but we don't stick to one indicator here. We look at the other indicators. RSI is also pretty low on Bitcoin, considering that, you know, it just made its all-time high like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So RSI is at 56 for Bitcoin, and stochastic RSI is actually low. And we're only like we're less than $5,000 away from the all-time high on Bitcoin, and stochastic RSI is low. So what does that say, guys? Come on, what does that say? It probably means we're gonna go higher than $112,000 here. And I still have my long-term target on Bitcoin at $129,000, $130,000 with the Fibonacci analysis. But if I just measure from here to here, right? We'll just do another Fibonacci and try to see what the Fib extension is going to say. Oh, actually, I want to do it the other way. From here, 112 down to here. And we got a 1618 saying that Bitcoin can get up to $122,000. Does that happen later on this month in June? Could that possibly be the result of trade deals coming in? We still haven't had significant trade deals yet, which to me it actually made me a little bit concerned that we still haven't got like a trade deal with Japan or India or any of these other major countries. We had something of a trade deal with China, but there's still some animosity amongst the two countries between the United States and China. But now there's expected phone call between Donald Trump and President Xi Jinping, however you say his name, in China. And that's supposed to be happening this week. And could that be the catalyst that sends us to higher prices here on Bitcoin and, well, just about every single asset in the world, to be honest? Maybe that's what that positive catalyst that we're all looking for crypto is the trade deals. I think trade deals are going to be the positive catalyst here in June. And if it's not, then that's going to be the reason why we go down. Is because trade deals fell apart and tariffs are going to be actually a real thing in July. Alrighty, so just reading up on Rich's comment, his last comment here. Pulse Chain founder had his case dropped by the judge, so the network should do good going forward. That's good news to hear. So yeah, guys, that's those are my upside targets on Bitcoin. Downside targets, if we do come down, you know, just looking at the Fibonacci analysis here, right? I mean, we could revisit $103,000 Bitcoin, $103,000 with a 0.5 retracement is, or even 0.382. We could come down to $100,000 Bitcoin, but an even deeper retracement would be the $98,000 level, and I believe that is where most of this price action was trading at back in April. So that could be, in my opinion, this would just be a buying opportunity. This is why I have this purple buy zone. All right. But, you know, I understand why some bears would be like, oh, we topped out and Bitcoin is going down to, you know, whatever price that is lower than $98,000. I feel like if Bitcoin does go below $100,000 at this point, some people feel like they missed out and they would just be happy if they could get Bitcoin below $100,000. So I think there will be a lot of strong price action at that level. If I go ahead and put on the VRVP here and I just zoom out a little bit, gather some data. Yeah. You got a high volume node here at like $93,000, $94,000, $95,000, and then also $97,000. That should be a good buy zone for Bitcoin if you feel like you need to get some more at lower prices. Right. And then of course we got a little high volume node here. Looking at this VRVP, we got another high volume node here at $103,000. I think $103,000 should be our support, right? What was the lowest price that we got this weekend? Let me just double check. 103,110. Yep, that held pretty solid. So I think that's the line in the sand that needs to be held for now. And as long as we stay above $103,000, the case is that we have low stochastics and we have low RSI, and Bitcoin, I think, wants to make a move up to higher prices here. Thanks, Joe. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. And thank you for enjoying my thought process too. That's going to be it here for the Meet Damien channel. And oh my God, look at Ethereum, huh? It's getting close to I have a long on Ethereum, but I think Ethereum is probably going to get some resistance at like 2670. Yeah, around this value here. Let me see. I have to turn on the normal indicators here. Yeah, 2670. 2679 is what a 200-day moving average is. I think if Ethereum continues going up to that price, I'm gonna close out my long. I don't know. Maybe I keep a little bit in there just to see if it pushes up higher. But I'm gonna start selling my Ethereum once it gets to this 200-day moving average. That could happen later on tonight, the way things are going right now with Ethereum. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I will see you in the next live stream. Let's plan on seeing me tomorrow at like 5 or 6 p.m. East Coast time. I'll try to do a 2-hour live stream. So if you don't catch me then, maybe catch me towards the end of the live stream or the middle of the live stream. All right. Take care, guys.